Hi everyone, welcome to Studio V in conjunction with the Trade and Career Fair. My name is Geraldine and we are here today with various CEOs in conjunction with the CEO Roundtable Talk. To quickly kick off, perhaps you'd like to briefly introduce yourselves and your industry, and maybe you'd like to share with us your thoughts on the impact of the recession in your organization. Maybe Roshan, you'd like to?
Sure. I come from Leaderonomics. Our organization is a social enterprise, so we basically, our entire goal of our organization is to develop people across the country, but we take money from corporates and develop their people, and then the income that we make from them, we spin off and help the community, the youths and other areas. Interestingly, the recession, it's been an interesting time because it's really a time for people to, when people, kind of lose their roles or don't have things to do, it's a great opportunity to use to develop yourself because you have time on your hand, you got time to reflect, time to grow and time to develop yourself. So we've actually found that more and more people want to learn, want to grow, want to develop themselves. And it's been a great opportunity to be part of this development process with these people.
That's good.
Yep.
Mr. Omar?
I'm Omar Merican from the Bursa, Malaysia. We're at the stock exchange, and we have found that this is a time when asset prices have fallen considerably in Malaysia. Over the last year, share prices have fallen by just about 40%. It's a time of opportunity for many people. It's a time when where the timid have kept their money in cash, and it's a time when the opportunity to purchase assets has opened its doors. For Asia in particular, it's been a time where we've been able to use the wisdom that we gained over the last decade so that in the financial crisis which has hit the rest of the planet, we've done relatively well. As a result of that, I think the development potential for our industry and for young people who are thinking of pursuing a career in finance have significant opportunities in Islamic finance and commodities, and re-imprinting the Malaysian footprint in Asia.
Everything he said. But I'm Vinod, Shekar. I run a group called the Petra Group. Our business is essentially technologies, and I think it's fair to say that the current financial crisis, economic situation, has created more opportunities for us. For example, we run a company called Green Rubber, which makes a cheaper raw material. Right. Because it's cheaper, people are trying to cut their costs down. They're trying to buy cheaper products, so we get more sales. And the fact that we're green sort of adds to the momentum of our growth. I think this, as Omar said, this is a tremendous opportunity for those that have the resources and those that have been long-term thinkers, long-term planners. Everything is cyclical. This will pass, and Malaysia has done a fairly decent job of handling this crisis. It's not over yet. Right. It won't be over, relatively soon. It'll take a while. But Albert Einstein said in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity, and there are a tremendous amount of opportunity in the current situation. It's a question of looking for them, and it's a question of putting away this something we've been used to doing, or having this instant gratification. For too long, we've had this idea that I want it and I want it now, and I think this crisis, this environment, current financial environment, brings us back down to earth a bit and realize that we need to plan for the long term. And you plan for the long term, we're going to do well.
Yeah. Great.
Hi, I'm from KBU International College. I'm the principal. Actually, we are a private college that provide education from higher education from certificate to a postgraduate level. I think the current situation is a time where a good education and good training shows its importance. I think people who are well educated find it easier to cope with this current situation. And if someone who is not well trained will probably find it hard to get a good job or something.
So seeing as how we are here in conjunction with the Trade and Career Fair, so maybe we'd like to talk a little bit about talent and talent development. So as key leaders within your industry and your organization, what have you done? What steps have you taken to ensure the continuous development of talent within your organization at this point in time?
Sure, okay. I always look at talent training. I really think personally, I think training is a waste of time because people don't learn by, and I'm talking about standard training where you go to a classroom and you listen to somebody talk. There's absolutely no value in it. I think how people learn is through experiences. And what is important, I think, in this climate is it'll be a different experience. It'll be challenging. It'll be you'll be managing costs. You'll be managing inefficiencies. It'll be understanding how to drive productivity. It'll be really managing with limited resources. So here's an opportunity to learn something. And I believe to become ultimately a leader, it's important to keep learning and keep growing till the day you die. I worked for GE for many years, and Jack Welch, watching him many times, even when he was 64, just a year before he retired, he was learning. He's saying, I made a mistake, I'm going to change this. And I think that whole philosophy of saying learning is forever needs to be continually embedded in the hearts and minds of everybody in the country. So I think part of our goal is really to drive a culture of continuous learning, of continuous growth, of never saying, okay, I'm done, I've reached this point and I've stopped learning. And that's really something that, whether it's good times or bad times, it's something that I think as an organization we are committed to driving home. That don't go for training, go try to build your experiences. So ultimately you can reach a point where you have the experiences necessary to take your organization to the next level.
Okay. Omar?
At the exchange, I think our ability to manage the talent has been probably more about doing less and letting the market show its own talent. At the exchange, we have 1,000 PLCs listed on our exchange, and I think the government's made a major step towards unleashing the creativity and talent in the market by dealing with the FIC issues, which have been an issue in the country for the last 40 years. That's the first thing. The second thing is that within our industry, we have over 6,000 dealer representatives from about 30 broking companies and about 10 merchant banks. What we've been doing at the exchange is we've been trying to continue a pace of liberalization which will enable those companies and those people to develop their own talent in the industry. In the second half of this year, we're going to be not just a ringgit-based exchange, but we'll be able to list securities which are non-ringgit based. We're working with the rest of ASEAN to create an ASEAN network so that Malaysians may trade stocks, not just Malaysian stocks, but either Singapore, Filipino, or Thai stocks. And by doing that, to unleash the 3 million investors that we have through the clearing depository accounts, that they become more creative in their investment stance. So it's somewhat interactive in terms of the talent pool. You can invest in 1,000 companies and you can decide whether they're creative or destructive. And in terms of your investment horizon is not limited just to Malaysian companies, but now to regional and possibly even global companies, because some of the non-ringgit based companies might find themselves listed on Bursa Malaysia.
Okay, that's a great thought to end on. We need to go to a quick break. We are here with the CEO Roundtable, and we'll see you after the break. Thank you. Check.
Yeah.